Okay, guys. I'm a little tired, so you gotta bear patience with me. But I read a post on Twitter that was basically explaining the mentality of how a man views friendship with a woman, and it kind of threw me for a loop because at one point in time, I thought that like the way that was wrong, and it actually was. But then I also realized something. There's a problem on both sides. The problem on the male side, yeah, it's true that guys don't normally like deal with emotion with their male friends as they do with their female friends. We look for that quote unquote emotional release towards a female more than male, because showing a weak side to another guy seems like, oh, he's soft, or he might be homosexual, something like that. Like showing that you have a soft feminine side, or that you show emotion to certain things. And I think that's bullshit. I'm about to explain why shortly. Reason why that's bullshit is because a person like myself, and no, all guys aren't the same. We know this. Some guys are actually like that and don't know how to have female friends and find it quite hard. But you got to think about, what is the definition of a friend. Friend is a supporter, a person that you can connect with on a personal level. You have things in common. You can enjoy the same activities together, and overall, you can share thoughts with each other without hating each other or having it turn into a constant argument all the time. That's what normally would be considered a friend. Women and men have different definitions of friends because we have our guy friends and our female friends. Guy friends, like the guys I drink with, smoke with, have fun with, hang out with, bullshit with, play with, joke with, just hang out with and enjoy guy time, right? And women have the same thing. You all have your girlfriends, and like y'all go out and y'all do women activities together, whatever you all feel like doing. But the problem is, when you change it to opposite sex friendship, there's a thing. Some guys think, oh, I don't want to be your friend if I can't date you. Like, some guys actually think like that. And, like, most guys, like, most, if not some, there's very few, like, female friends that a guy has that he did not try to pursue before they became friends, because it's not always, oh, we were just friends from the start and stayed that way. Sometimes it's, oh, I tried to date you, or I tried to shoot my shot, and now we're just friends. But see, that's kind of awkward, because now he's salty and you okay, and you just like, oh, everything's going to go back to normal in a woman's mind. In a man's mind, it's not quite the same. So basically, when it's like that, I want to say the friendship isn't as quite, it's more of a distant friendship. But when it's an actual friendship, like when I can treat you, a female, the same way as I treat my male friends. You understand what I'm saying? So that has to be the line that's drawn, like, to where, like, there's no separation, like, oh, I have to treat you differently because you're a girl, and I have to treat them differently because those are my guys. No, friendship is totally non-gender based. It's friendship, period. Doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. But the problem with guys is, like I said, some of them think, oh, you won't let me date you, so we just have to be friends, right? But then there are other guys who, like myself, like some of my female friends, who I treat the same way I treat my male friends. It is actually like I'm a therapist. Like, as a friend, you're nowhere to be found. But when you need emotional support, you need what any man has to give a woman, unfortunately, or fortunately, whether he gets nothing in return or gets something in return. You have to give your time. So whether I have to give my time, words of encouragement, emotional support, physical presence, whatever, you are using a man to replace what you can't find, right? So I'm not gonna lie, like, when women say things like, oh, I wish I could find a guy like you, that's very hard to do considering that every person is unique and there's only one of us here. I don't have a twin. I don't know of a twin. I don't have any birth sibling that is exactly like me in personality and will do the same things morally I will do for a person. So to say something like that would kind of trigger a guy into thinking, you just might be crazy. And in some cases, some, not all women are. But when you want that type of emotional support and you expect a guy not to, he would have to be emotionally detached, meaning he would have to take away the emotion, meaning he can't give you emotional truth. Because when you go to your girlfriends, some of your girlfriends, I don't know how many of women's friends are honest to them, but some of your girlfriends will lie to you and be like, oh, girl, yeah, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. But your girlfriends that you have that are like me, that will treat you the same way they treat their male friends and go, no, you're wrong. You don't know how to make decisions. You're making excuses and you keep putting yourselves in these situations. That's your fault. You don't want to hear that from a male friend. You want his support like he's an older brother or a surrogate boyfriend. Because quite a few women have a lot of male best friends when they have a boyfriend, right? And all male best friends, I'm not including myself in this because I don't do that, but all male best friends to girls who are not single are always trying what? Playing the waiting game. Like, oh man, he mess up, ball in my court. Like, that's how some guys be. And that's not necessarily what you want to go for. But for women who think that men have an emotional problem with dealing, yes, some men do. That may be a scientific fact. Some men don't know how to share their emotional turmoil with other men. Some do. But the ones that do, the ones that know how to share their emotional turmoil and treat you equally, you can't be mad at them because they treat you like they treat their male friends. That's what you wanted. You wanted friendship. You said, let's just be friends. So if I treat you like a friend, don't get mad. Like, I have this many guy friends because I'm a good friend. Like, I'm honest. I don't lie. I'm supportive. I'm doing the same things for them that I'm doing for you. So you can't necessarily say that you're asking for friendship when you're really not. You're asking someone to go above and beyond. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you need me all the time, right? For whatever type of support it is, be it financial, emotional, mental, I don't care. But if you need me all the time, but when I need you and my male friends aren't available and I can't find you and you're not supportive, we're not actually friends. You see what I'm saying? I'm more like serving your purpose. I'm your surrogate boyfriend. You call me when you need me. Do you see what I'm saying? Women do stuff like that and don't even realize it. You'll say that that's not what you want, but in reality, watching you from the outside, it just looks hypocritical. I'll give you a prime example. Half of my female friends are single, half are taken. The ones that are taken are the ones that listen to me and actually did what I said. If I told you and you said that here I have a problem, what's the problem? And I give you a solution to the problem and you actually listen and solve it, that means what? I'm not a bad friend. I didn't lie to you. I told you what you needed to hear, not what you wanted to hear. If I tell you what you want to hear, then I'm not your friend. I'm just a person that wants to keep you happy, and that's not what a friend is. A friend is a person that wants to see you eternally happy, to keep you happy. You can be happy and not living right. People don't realize that, but I can give you a prime example. If I have a friend and she says, I have such poor luck with women. I have such poor luck with men. I've been single for almost 20 years. It's nothing to brag or boast about, but there's a reason. If you found a guy like me, you have to ask yourself, would you date him? You got to be honest. Because there's not, morally speaking, there's not a lot of guys like me. But the few that I know of, or the few that exist in this world whom I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, are ones that would actually treat you right. Every guy that, we're not going to sit here and lie. I'm a guy. Every guy originally, plays the suave role until he, gets you in his zone to where he can start hitting you with the combos and softening you up to just slide him. Because every guy's goal when meeting a girl, no one can lie. You don't look at a woman at first and be like, oh my God, like she's this, that, or the third. Like you could be in high school and it wouldn't even matter. Like, oh, she's so beautiful. Exactly. You notice her physical essence first before you notice her mental and spiritual essence. So every guy looks for the physical. Girls, they look for the emotional distance between you and her. Meaning, like, if you're not interested in her, but she's constantly looking at you or looking for you, she's looking for something that she can't find within herself. Some women look for strength in a man. Some women look for kindness in a man. Some women look for selfishness in a man. Whatever you look for in a man is something that you miss in yourself. So if you yourself are complete, you're looking for someone who matches your complete form. So if you believe that having a friend be a therapist to you and you don't share the same for them, that's not friendship. Because women do something that's very funny. I've heard this for the past 4 years. I've been single for 20, but I've heard it for the past 4 years. Ever since I graduated high school, women have suddenly had this craze of, I cannot wait to marry my best friend. Now, that sounds to me very hypocritical. Very hypocritical. Do you want to know why? You just want to be friends. So why would you marry your best friend? It's kind of weird, don't you think? So that means if you got 7 guy best friends, which guy best friend do you want to marry is the question. Because if you actually don't mean that, say, I can't wait to marry the person who will be my spouse. Because that means you don't see them as a best friend until you get into a relationship with them. That's kind of ass backwards. It's not saying you want to marry your best friend. You want to marry your spouse who becomes your best friend. That's different. That's entirely different. If I want to marry my best friend, I'll go talk to my childhood friend. She's single. You see what I'm saying? That would be me marrying my best friend as my best friend. Me marrying my best friend as my spouse is different because you would already have to have the connection of friendship. So if you have a friend and you have the connection of friendship and you say, I want to marry my best friend, I'm the first thing a logical person is going to think, you're talking about someone that you have a connection with. Someone that you actually consider a best friend. See what I'm saying? So women will say that and be like, oh, I'm so in love. You're in love with the fact that you're not alone anymore. You're okay and you can enjoy your company. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows being single is boring because like some people who have been in relationships, they have it worse than me. I've never been in a relationship, so I don't have it that bad. But I've heard stories of my friends who have been in relationships and are now single go and say, man, I hate couples. I hate seeing couples happy. Only time I hate seeing couples happy is Valentine's Day because that's fake love. And that's not real love. That's just temporary for the day. Just because the government said it's February the 14th, it's Valentine's Day. Everybody buy something for your significant other and show them you love them. Seen that happen 3 semesters. None of those relationships last. So my message simply is do not be a hypocrite if you're going to point out a fact. You have to look at yourself before you try to figure out the mind of another person, especially the opposite sex. That's why, looking at myself, that's why I can make these analogies. It's not that hard for me. I play the role of an idiot, but I'm not dumb. It's never been that, but nonetheless, you just have to actually look in yourself first because, like, the woman that wrote that probably, look at your guy friends. Look at other guy friends. Ask your friends that aren't your friends, do they have this problem with men? If they don't, then it's really probably just you that treats men like therapists while you have sex with other guys. That gets kind of annoying. It kind of does. Like, oh, I don't know why I'm being treated this way. Let me go back to this piece of shit guy that doesn't respect me and then come tell you about it and ask for a solution. Leave him. Oh, I can't do that. I love him. Then why the hell do you even ask me for advice? You're wasting my time. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's really all I'm trying to get you all to understand. Don't ask somebody to give you a solution and then tell them, oh, make excuses. What's the point? That's not how friendships grow. Come on, man. Get out of here with all that. That's crazy. It's no way in hell I'm going to sit here and tell you the truth and then have you waste an hour and a half, 2 hours, stayed on the phone for 4 hours. Motherfuckers that just don't listen. It's sad, but nonetheless, you can't force a person to listen. And quite frankly, I don't have any friends that live extremely messed up lives and just stay in constant cycles. I can't have complacent people around me. You can't keep doing the same thing and stay around me, because you're going to agitate my thought process and then it's going to distract me. That's why the amount of female friends I have is very little, and you can ask them yourselves. They don't hit me up because they know what I will say. I'm set in my ways because until you prove me wrong, name one woman that has been unhappy because she stopped fucking with a guy that literally didn't care about her at all. He pretended to. Some guys are great actors. Oh, he was George Clooney in that mother, but guess what? That was not the case. So you can't name any woman that just left her husband or left her boyfriend or baby father because, we just didn't work together. No, some relationships, yeah, they don't work, but then some people just aren't right for you, and you can't force yourself to love somebody that isn't made to be with you permanently or a very long time at least. Like dating for 5 years and then wanting to marry somebody. It took you 5 years to decide whether you wanted to spend your life forever with this person. It took 5 years to make an eternal decision. So you mean to tell me if I wait 5 years and ask you to marry me and you say no, do I get my 5 years back? No, I don't. You got to learn how to actually assess the person. Like, just spill the truth the minute you meet them. You don't have to lie. Why does everybody have something to hide? What are you ashamed of? If you're doing well now and you made some messed up choices in the past, don't let those messed up choices define who you are in the present and end up corrupting your future. Just do what you're supposed to do and everything will be all right. As long as you are honest and you walk on the path of truth, mostly. I mean, everybody tells a white lie every now and then, but if you're just living a life full of lies and the person you lying to the most is yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. That just don't make sense. You got to be honest. If you taking L's, take the L's and be honest. Don't be like, oh, I took a L and I'm winning. No, he cheated on you. That's your L. You chose him. It's like, oh, she fucked your homeboy. That's your L. You chose her. Like, let it go. Move on. You're not going to keep repeating the same thing because you're just going to keep making excuses and say, oh, it's not my fault. No, it is your fault because of what you like. What you choose is the path you walk. If you choose left, you're going to get left. You choose right, you're going to get right. It don't matter, but you cannot make the decision making and then point the finger somewhere else. Be like, oh, you ain't shit, but I let you into my life. No, I ain't shit for letting you into my life. That's what you got to understand. Women, I'm talking to women and men. Y'all got to understand that. You cannot have friends sit here and lie to you and coerce you into continuing to lie to yourself. That's not a friend. That's not a friend at all. That's just a person that just wants to see you fake happy. Not really happy, just fake happy. But that's my opinion on the situation. All right, y'all.